1, 2, 3, and 4. Hi everyone, my name's Brady Wood, as you probably all know by now. Today I'm going to be going over pet ownership, the topic of pet ownership, and more specifically, why owning a pet snake is more beneficial and better than owning a pet dog. To hop right into things, I'm sure that we all as people, we all know somebody or ourselves own a pet dog or have owned a pet dog in their life, which is something we can all relate to going into this. And so, why own a pet in the first place? Now, there's many reasons that you'd want to own a pet. It's going to improve your mental health, it's going to help you develop a sense of responsibility, and it also is going to form a sort of companionship and a bond that's unbreakable to many. So, to improve on this talk, when an animal is part of everyday life, it will have an impact, or it will have a psychological and a spiritual effect. And that's stated by Barbara McClaskey, page 11 of her article. Or paragraph 11 of her article, excuse me. And so, to go into that, it's going to help you feel better mentally, and it's going to help somebody that may not be as strong mentally really improve their mental state and their psychological state and spiritual state. So, improving on that again, it may be appropriate to encourage somebody with a chronic illness, especially those dealing with a chronic illness, or who have a poor self-concept in life, to own a pet. And that's by Barbara McClaskey, paragraph 24 of her article. Now, what does that mean? That means that somebody who doesn't have very high self-esteem or doesn't feel important in life is going to feel more important after owning a pet. And this can be tied back to they have to take care of something that's not their self, and it's going to help them develop a sense of pride, which is very important. And so, moving on to really reinstate that all of us probably have known somebody that's owned a dog or do it ourselves. Now, although dogs are popular, what are reasons not to have one? Now, there are some obvious reasons, such as financial burden, destruction of maybe furniture in your home, the having to go home on lunch every day and let them out. But talking on dogs, there's also the health risk that's involved. Now, the particular health risk I'm going to explain to you guys is the topic of rabies. And so, rabies is one of the deadliest zoonotic diseases with a 100% fatality rate, and that statement and statistic is by Guadam, and that's on page 2. So, this means that rabies not only can impact your health physically, but also mentally. If you have to worry about your dog going out and getting rabies, then you have to worry about this constantly, which is going to affect your mental health and also can affect your physical health. This is very dangerous. This is not something that we can just overlook and say it's not a big deal. So, what does rabies have to do with the dog? Now, many people are probably thinking, you mentioned rabies, but what does that have to do with the dog? Now, the primary rate of transmission of rabies is via an infective dog bite. And that's by Vishali Guadam, page 2. So now we know that a dog, if it bites you and it does have rabies, it will contract to you, and now you run the risk of probably dying, which is very, very dangerous and very stressful to many people. Now, statistically speaking, 59,000 deaths happen globally each year due to rabies, and this is very important. That's Vishali Guadam, and that's on page 2. Now, that's a lot of people that die from this, and we may not know anybody that has died from this, but that's a statistic that we can't overlook. Is that's very, very high in numbers as to how many people that this kills every year. And like I mentioned before, the primary rate of transmission based off of Guadam's research is a dog bite. Now, this is also, like I said, a mental strain, and this is going to impact a lot of people in a negative way. Now that we understand the negative impacts of a dog, what would provoke somebody to want to buy a snake? So I'm going to mention right off the bat, ophidiophobia is the fear of snakes, which is completely legitimate and a completely legitimate phobia. Now, there also is the fear of dogs, which is another realistic phobia. but you pretty much see snake fear more common. Now that that's understood and that has been stated, snakes don't require walks in the park and are quiet during the day and night. With infrequent defecation, that entails easy cleanup of the snake's terrarium, and that's going to be stated by Dr. Sharman Hops, and that's page 2 of his article. So, going into that, that means that owning a snake is going to be a little bit easier than having to worry about a dog. It's not going to require you to come into the tank and take it out and take it for a walk and let it go outside to the bathroom. It's going to defecate less frequently, which is going to be easier to maintain and easier to clean up and keep track of. Now, this being said, Hops also goes in and says snakes are misunderstood and make great common pets or companion pets. And that's page 2 of Sharman Hops, and he's a doctor, so we have to understand that this is somebody that's put their life into understanding this concept, and this can't be overlooked. He states that they're great companion pets, which has been backed by research and data. And so, just from personal experience, I own a pet snake and a pet dog. The snake is very, very much easier to maintain than the dogs. It doesn't require as much attention. It's easier to maintain. It's easier to clean up. It only has to be fed once a week, depending on the species of snake. But it only has to be fed once a week, which is also very convenient and less time consuming. So from this speech, like I said, the three articles that I stated are written by Sharman Hops, Barbara McClaskey, and Vishali Gautam. And so to recognize that, in conclusion, owning a pet snake is going to be less costly. It's going to be less mental strain. It's going to run less health impacts and less dangerous health impacts on your life, and is also going to be overall easier. And you don't have to worry about a snake at 9 o'clock at night when you're trying to go to sleep, barking at a tree outside and waking you up possibly. Anyways, I look forward to hearing your guys' speech, and it's been a nice, fun class, and good luck to you guys in the rest of your life. And like I said, I look forward to seeing your speeches, and we'll talk to you soon.